Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Sebastian from TechCentury and welcome to this new video. So today I want to share two very exciting products with you guys that just arrived like yesterday and the day before. On the one hand, the DJI Osmo Action, and then on the other hand, the OnePlus 7 Pro. So I've picked up both devices or ordered both devices last week and they've already arrived this week. The camera actually came from China, so that was quite impressive on a DHL Express part. And this is just my very first quick impressions, mostly of the hardware, because I haven't used both devices too much. And now the weather is finally getting better, so I'm very excited to take both out to really try out the cameras as well. So let's get started with the Osmo Action, and I'm very happy to see that all the rumors were true, that we now have like a valid competitor to the GoPro Hero 7 Black. So I currently own a Hero 5 Black, and while it already has 4K recording, what's really lacking is the image stabilization, electronic image stabilization, or as GoPro calls it, hyper smooth. Because if you put it on like kind of a selfie stick and walk around, especially due to the very wide angle lens, it just looks awful. So I was looking for something with stabilization, and I tried the Hero 7 Black, but I wasn't really too convinced. So when I saw that the Osmo Action came out, I really had to order it straight away. And here we have the camera itself. I have to say it feels very, very nice in the hand, and the build quality is just amazing. I also really like this metal ring here around the lens, which just gives an extra high quality feel to it. And then on the back we also have another highlight for me, and this is that we have a 16:9 display. So on GoPros they're usually 4:3, so you have black bars on the top and the bottom. So the display gets even smaller when it comes to the actual area of where you're recording your video. And also one aspect that I have to say is that I trust DJI way more when it comes to making a very usable and a good touchscreen operating system or user interface, and also just a better touchscreen overall with better touch response, because that was never a strong suit of the Heroes in my opinion. And I've seen this on my Osmo Pocket, which I'm currently using to record this video. And on this like 1-inch screen, the menu worked very well, and also here of course on the even bigger screen. So if you pull down from the top to the bottom, we see the settings like voice control, picture profiles, advanced settings, and if you then just pull in from the bottom to the top, we'll see video resolutions and also frame rates. From the right to the left, then we see manual settings like exposure, for example, and then from the left to the right we see recorded video. So overall, this is just a very simple menu, and the touchscreen also responds very well to any input. And then of course one of the highlights, if we double tap on the back of the display, then it switches around and we see ourselves here on the front display. Now this is not a touchscreen, but it still works very well. It's just nice so that you can see if you're framing yourself correctly, and so I'm very excited to actually use this. So now I can actually hit record, and this is currently in photo mode, so I'll quickly switch this to video, and then you can also see what the footage looks like. So now I'm recording with the DJI Osmo Pocket here, and now with the Osmo Action here on the left side in 4K 60, and I'm just really excited to see what the picture looks like. One of the other reasons why I picked this up is also that I just wanted to have two cameras that also look very similar in terms of picture. And of course it's also nice that I can use the same app, the DJI Mimo app, for both. One thing that you have to notice is that if you get this straight from DJI or maybe also a retailer, one thing that I was very surprised of was that I didn't even have the option to select a RockSteady, which is the stabilization from DJI. That was because I had to do a firmware update first. So make sure to install this update, and then you should be able to select RockSteady. Next up, we then get to the OnePlus 7 Pro. And I currently have my Galaxy S9 Plus as my daily driver, and I also have a Huawei P30 Pro. But I still couldn't resist to get this phone, because I think this just has a very, very good overall package, not only in terms of specs. So this is the high-end version, so it has 12 gigs of RAM as well as 256 gigabytes of storage, and is in this very nice nebula blue color, which is kind of like a matte blue. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And the good thing is also you get a free clear case in the box, and it retails for like 830 euros, and especially with this amount of RAM and also storage, I think this is just a very, very good price. We of course also then have the fingerprint reader here integrated into the display. It doesn't always work, so it's still probably not as accurate as you would find on a smartphone that has the fingerprint reader on the back, but it's still just impressive to have the fingerprint reader under the glass anyways. And of course also this display here on the front that certainly has no notch and also just almost covers the entire area here of this front of the smartphone is amazing. And the party trick of course is if we go to the cameras and then select here the selfie camera, it pops right out of the casing. So this is definitely something where you get a lot of raised eyebrows because most people have never seen this before. And I think the camera setup on the back here is probably the best, at least in terms of focal length in my opinion. So we have the 0.6 ultra wide camera, so I can take a picture right here. Then we have the regular 48 megapixel camera that outputs 12 megapixel images. And then we also have the 3x optical zoom camera right here. So just taking a picture so that you guys can get a quick impression of the quality. But there's also supposed to be another software update coming out that still or even further improves the image quality. And just from my experience with the P30 Pro, I have to say that I think a 3x optical zoom might actually be more useful than a 5x, because I usually use the camera to photograph my dog when he is further away, because if I get too close then he moves away. So the 5x optical zoom mostly is actually just too far zoomed in, so I have to take like 3 or 4 steps back to actually get it in the frame. I think 3x optical zoom is a very, very good focal length. And overall, the impressions, especially in terms of speed, is just amazing here on this OnePlus. Just blows my S9 completely out of the water. And I just like to have the prospect of an almost stock Android with very fast software updates, and then just the amazing performance of a Snapdragon 855, 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Because while I love the camera on my Pixel 2, the performance was just awful. So I hope that this will perform well for a very long time. And I just can't wait to use these devices even more. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you've ordered any of these items or if you've already received them and what you think of them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for many more videos about these devices as well as other tech. See you next time.